sehr gut zu tun.
The two otters that we have here today are North American or Canadian river otters. These guys would normally live in Canada, Alaska and northern states, living by rivers and streams, generally in things like generally in things like crabs, freshwater fish, snakes, frogs, anything they can get their hands on. The two otters that we have here, so we've got Isla, this is our female, this one here. She's currently 3.5 years old. We've then got Lewis, he's 4 years old, and both of these two came from Mulhall Wildlife Park when they closed down their otter enclosure. So we've taken them on and given them a nice home, and here they will stay with us for the rest of their days, bless them. The reason that we do have Canadian river otters instead of our native European otter is because these guys are active throughout the day, whereas our European otters are nocturnal, so all you would see is a little ball of fluff in the corners down the bottom, so you wouldn't actually get to read. European otters aren't a lot different from these guys. They probably get maybe a little bit bigger, but that's probably... Otters are in a group called mustelids. Hello. There it is. Which includes things like badgers, mink, didn't run that bit then, eh? Right, I'll start again. Otters are in a group called mustelids, which includes things like... Although otters are the only amphibious one of the group, they are perfectly designed feather-like tails. They've also got web paws and claws so they can get around in the water quite well, and they actually have 2 layers of hair on them, so 2 layers of fur. We've got a layer at the top which gets really wet, and then a layer underneath which stays nice and dry. These guys can actually dive down to about 10 to 20, although the maximum time they can dive down for is literally for about 2 minutes, although generally they only do dive down for literally about 20 seconds. A bit then. Obviously today, otters do need to eat 20% of their body weight. High metabolism, so they're constantly burning off their food, which is why they do get so much every day. The other thing that we need to go through is that our European otters did used to be classified as Eurasian otters. There used to be quite a lot of numbers in Asia and the Far East, but they actually wiped them out, killed them off totally in these areas, as they hunted them very heavily for their fur for the fashion industry. Classified as the European otter, as you can only find them in Europe. We're actually Scotland to have 90% of Britain's population of otters here. Because otters are normally very solitary creatures. They are trees next to rivers and streams. So obviously Scotland's pretty perfect for this with all the space that we have available to them. We do actually have one native otter, European otter, that lives sort of over there. And sometimes you can see them on the nature trail when you walk around, so that might be worth having a look. Otters as well will normally give birth to 2 to 3 cubs between April and May and October and November. Their gestation period is literally only about 9 weeks, but they can actually mate and then hold on to this so that they're ready. So we actually caught these guys mating in March, which is why we've got the separation bit. Isla might decide that she wants to start her gestation period and we would need to move Lewis over into the separate area. What's wrong with that? Yeah, that's it. Blind for the first 5 weeks and they generally only stay with mum for about 6 to 7 weeks. Yeah. So that's all I've got going for, I think. Does anyone...
What are they eating?
At the moment they've got whiting and chicks. We tend to give them trout and beef as well, anything like that. We do also give them crabs because it's quite good for their teeth. They're almost like dogs so they can get gingivitis, so you're not going to get in there and brush them, so if we can give them something nice and crunchy, it actually scrapes a lot of that away. And the other thing I suppose I didn't mention was the whole stick and the clicker. The reason that we do this is these guys only came to us at the beginning of this year, and it's to get them very used to us, so that we can give them checks, also get them to go into the box down at the bottom there, so that, because they do need vaccinations and blood samples taken once a year. So this is going to give them minimal amount of stress and us minimal amount of stress as well at the same time.